Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Friday morning / afternoon edition of Hello Hangs. My name is Jeff Berman. I'm with HelloooTV, and in a moment, I'm going to be interviewing AJ Gatio. I hope I say that name right. I just asked him, but I think I got it right. Before I bring in AJ to talk about his concert on HelloooTV tonight, I want to send a virtual, a digital, through the camera hug and gratitude to our sponsors. First and foremost, Audio-Technica. They have teams all over the world, but their team in the United States have been big supporters of HelloooTV since day one. So shout out to our boos at Audio-Technica USA. Next up, we have NooWave, who are bringing us Flow-State-Coffee, which is coffee for creative types like you and I. I wish I had some more right now, but I'm still waiting for my bag. Pre-orders are happening now. It's going to be delivered soon. It's great. Go to NooWave.co/HELLOO. That's NooWave.co/hello and get 10% off your first order. And also AEH Accounting. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a small business? Do you need help with your taxes? Do you need to be on the up and up to make sure you don't get audited? The good folks at AEH Accounting can help you out. Now, without much further ado, I'm going to bring in AJ. AJ, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. You don't need to salute me. It's not that official. It's a little too early. I don't know.
Waved all my fans real quick. Say, hey, everybody. Yeah.
So how are you? Where are you at the moment?
I'm currently in Ohio. I'm playing in Ohio most of the weekend. Columbus on Sunday, Cincinnati on Saturday.
How are you doing that? What kind of shows are you playing?
Acoustic bar shows, Sunday fun day. I'm playing a private event at a club on Saturday. All socially distant, all fun, but it's just good places to play music again and, be out and kind of feel normal.
Yeah, are you doing the solo or is it duo, kind of a stripped down version of your band? How's it going out?
These are both solos.
Okay.
But me and the boys have gotten to play a lot of full band shows. We have a Harley Davidson residency where we play the parking lots at some of the local Harleys in the Nashville area.
Oh, cool.
And it's actually been super fun. So
that's awesome. So where are you from originally? Because you're not from Nashville, right?
I'm not. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And basically I moved to Nashville as soon as I graduated college and was like.
A quick aside. One of our sponsors, AEH Accounting, are based in Cincinnati.
No way.
There you go. It all comes full circle. Why Nashville? I mean, why not Nashville, but why Nashville?
Yeah. So I had taken a couple trips to Nashville just over the years, and I mean, it's such a fun, vibrant city. And then I was like, you know what? If you're ever gonna like try and give songwriting a go, like I didn't think I wanted to be a performer. I was just like, yo, if I can write songs all day and like coach football in the evening and like have like a quiet, happy life, I was like, that's great. And I hated performing when I first moved to Nashville. Like it gave me severe anxiety. And at some point after like a year down there, like a flip switch and it's like the biggest thrill. But when I first started playing like writers rounds, like my heart would be beating out of my chest. I'd be like fumbling over my words. It took a minute for me to get like the performing aspect like into.
Do you find sometimes those songwriters in the round nights, like they're meant to be more casual because there's kind of more people involved and it's meant to be that much more kind of fluid. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like for whatever reason in those moments, the nerves are just that much higher than if you're just playing a show with your band. Have you ever noticed that?
Well, it's all you. Like, you can't, there's nothing to hide. It's just like everything's on you. And then the other thing is, like, I'm sure you've probably been there, but, like, you're playing in these crowded bars where, like, everyone's talking, and, like, half the time you're just like, I just feel like background music. I don't even know what's paying attention, and I'm singing a song that I love, and I'm like, it's just, I mean, I get it, because it's one of those things where it's like people are there, they want to support their friends, and there's places to go every night to hear rounds, and it's more of a social thing than really, like, unless you're going to like the listening room and you're like, I'm here to like whatever. It's more of like a hang and you're like, oh, I might pay attention, but I might also talk to my guitar player. I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Did you come from a musical family?
We listen to a lot of music. I am the only musician in my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So It's
Yeah.
good though, like very supportive. Like 'cause it is kind of crazy. Like I didn't perform, I didn't do much back home, other than like write and learn guitar like in a closet. And then I graduate college and I have a degree in nothing to do with music. And then I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm picking up moving to Nashville. I'm gonna give this music thing a try. And half the people are like, "You do music?" No, I have no idea.
I like to tell people, because like I look back, especially now during COVID, where so many of us in the industry are unemployed. So we're trying to kind of re-enter the more traditional workforce,
Hmm.
so to speak.
Yep.
And it's put me back in touch with people that I knew from college and from high school. And it's, first of all, it seems like everybody that I knew from my former life is now an attorney. There's just so many lawyers in the world. I guess I missed that memo. But on top of that, it's like I'm convinced that people like you and I have more fun on our journey of life, or at least
Yeah.
that's what I tell myself as I'm trying to fall asleep, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I'm all
It's like
about
we're
like
not making as much money as those attorneys, but god damn it, we're
no.
having more fun.
You couldn't pay me to be an attorney, probably. Like legalities and that stuff. I'm like, no, I would rather give it to someone else. Read over this, make sure we're good.
Yeah. I want to ask you a couple questions about balance.
Okay.
And not literal balance, because it's still pretty early and I haven't had enough coffee and you're still sipping yours, but figurative balance. And the first one being, what is your balance? And I know that this year COVID kind of fucked everything
Hmm.
up, but between being an emphasis on being a performer versus being just a songwriter, living that quiet life that you referred to, what's your feeling? What kind of balance do you like to strike between being a performer and a writer in 2020?
Man, I don't know because there hasn't been a whole lot of performing, but
Scratch that. In 2019.
like my favorite part of music in general is like the creative process of it. So like it starts with a song, but like I write with a lot of track guys, and I'm into tracking stuff myself, and like that's where there's a lot of stuff flowing out. Performing, you know, half the time I'm performing like a Brooks and Dunn song or something that I didn't write. But like when you can get into those places where like, if it's like a single release or if you're playing like a hometown show, like people are listening. Like those are my favorite moments where it's like you're taking something that you created that you feel, something that came from down here. And a lot of times like for me, like I'm not like a super emotional person, so like I channel my emotions through songs and stuff. So getting the
Sure.
opportunities to play those songs for like a crowd, especially a crowd of like people that like and have been there with you for a long time, like those are the best moments, and that's what kind of like keeps me going. Is like especially this year, like those moments are few and far between, but it kind of makes them a little more special. Like I haven't gotten to play a full band show since we did the HelloooTV show, and but I'll be damned if that wasn't like the most fun I had in like the last month. So I don't know.
Yeah.
2020 is one of those weird years, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, my next question about balance harkens to something that I think people like yourself and a lot of songwriters and performers of your generation or our generation, uh, it's labels that we don't worry about. Your music, anybody who listens to your music can hear elements of country. There's a lot of elements of pop as well.
Yeah.
And you're kind of unshy about, and you're proud about kind of walking
Yeah.
that line, so to speak, and
Yeah.
dipping your toe on one song in more in one direction and more in the other direction on the next track. Um, where where do your musical tastes as a songwriter and as a performer lie? Is there a balance that you try to find, or do you just kind of go where the song leads you and labels be damned?
I'm more of a go where the song leads you, especially in
Mhm.
terms of songwriting, because typically you're writing with two or three other people, and I'm never the one that's kind of like in the room, like we're gonna try and make this song this, or we're gonna try and go in that direction, or we're gonna write for me today, or we're
Right.
gonna write for you today. Like that, honestly, that usually sets me off. Like internally, I'm like, we're coming at this from the whole, because like you're trying to like write the best song in the room. You never know until you show up, like what the vibe is that day, what everyone's mindset is, whether you're gonna strike something. But if you're like, oh hey, we're gonna try and write a song for your record, or we're going to try and write a song that we can pitch for this, you're automatically like just taking the frame of ideas into like this tiny thing, and it's like, okay, we're trying to hit this small target intentionally, when like you could write one of the coolest things over here and have no idea that you were planning on doing that, because you just got to kind of follow that.
Yeah. And that speaks to another balance question, I guess. Like, how do you strike a balance between what you're writing when you're doing co-writes and you're working with other people and you're kind of destination driven, versus when you're writing stuff for your own catalog and what you plan to release? Is there a different approach?
Yeah, I would say especially late 2019 and especially this year, having, you know, the lockdown time and the coronavirus stuff, where, you know, I have to get these ideas out, and suddenly we're not co-writing as much, or we're not in the rooms as much. So I have a lot of, you know, beginnings of songs where it's like, here's like a very fleshed out verse and chorus, and I kind of know like the guys and girls that I write with, kind of earmark like, oh, this one would probably be good to finish with X, Y, and Z, or, you know, over here, because I'm like, well, this song has a dope melody. We're probably not really going to change the melody or that kind of stuff, but I might take this to my buddy. For example, like I did this with one song. I was like, I'm going to take this to Davey, because Davey is just like one of those guys where he's going to throw out so many words, and I'm just going to try and catch the best ones that I can fit into this melody. Mm-hmm. You know, and then sometimes you, especially, you know, lately, like it's gotten back to normal where we can just kind of show up with the track guy and, you know, spit ideas out. But in these writes now, I'm coming with a lot of these songs where if I'm writing about a third or half of it off the bat, you know, it's definitely, and I'm throwing it out like it's going to be more of a me-driven song, just because the bulk of the work's already been done. Now it's more like we're going to try and fine-tune it.
Sure.
But that's kind of been my 2020 writing style for the most part. And honestly, I kind of like it because, you know, like I've written thousands of songs, and all these, you know, everyone's writing so many songs, just like 2% of them get heard or recorded. And it's just like, it's a lot more fun when you're like more focused on your stuff, and you're like, I don't know, like most people aren't getting like cuts left and right. So it kind of is just like, you don't want those songs to feel like they just get lost and die. So like,
it turns into a quality versus quantity argument within our own minds. You know, it's kind of a cluster muck in that way.
Yeah.
Because you can have a great idea that you love, but it's like if you were in a room with people, some of that creativity could be, if it's someone that you're not familiar working with or something, it could be stifled by interruption. Mm-hmm. But now, because we're all isolated, those ideas could be stifled by the lack of, you know, human beings in the room to kind of vibe off the idea and make it grow.
Sometimes those people are going to throw that song off, and it would have been better to not, you know, have brought it to other people. And some days it's just like the song's not going to be as good because you're not going to have those outside influences, or you see it so strictly one way that you're not getting that, oh, I didn't even think about that. That takes it to the next level. But
it's quite a shitty feeling to walk out of one of those co-writes and be like, wow, that decent song that I brought here is now terrible.
And I'm going to write it later by myself, and screw you guys.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. Exactly. Real quick, my name is Jeff Berman. I'm with HelloooTV. That's not as important as my guest, AJ Gatio, who is here and nice enough to be with us. We're going to be having AJ and his band tonight on HelloooTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and 6 p.m. for all of our lovely friends and family on the West Coast. We're really looking forward to it. I have another question for you about a song you wrote called Make a Hometown. Now, this won the John Lennon Songwriters Award. And for those of you who don't know who John Lennon is, put your phone and your computer down and walk off a bridge. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. But put it in your Google machine. John Lennon is the GOAT. How did that come about, and how did that come about, and how did that feel to get such a prestigious award?
I'm usually not a fan of like any sort of contest or, you know, enter for this, but one of my buddies sent me the link, and he was like, yo, I really think we should just submit it for this, da 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 da, like whatever. It's like $60, and it wasn't one of those things where it's just like a contest where it's just like vote for my link, vote for my link. It's just a blind submission process. They have like a panel of like 100 people. They take like a rubric or something, and it's just very like it has to average out to be the best one. And I believe it's all unpublished and unsigned writers.
Yeah.
So it's not like, like you're competing with like the Shane McAnallys and the country, guys of the world. But yeah, it was like 6 months later. I kind of like forgot about it, wrote it off, like, nothing happened with it, no big deal. And I was actually playing a bunch of shows down in Miami and Florida Keys, and I got very sick and ended up having to cancel a bunch of them and fly home early. And I was just like really bummed out because it was February. It was right before coronavirus, and I was just not like in a mentally happy headspace with music. And I'm driving this really crappy, shitty rental car from Key Largo up to Miami, and I got like an email at 7:30 in the morning saying, da 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 da, your song has been selected as the 2019 country da 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 whatever of the year award. Oh. And like, I don't know, I guess this doesn't sound like a baby, but like I started kind of like crying a little bit because I was just like, we get very little validation for all of this stuff that we kind of hold dear. Like that's like my favorite song I've ever written. It's like it's me, my growing up to a T, but it's like it's just one of those moments where like I was just very, very happy. Just like people appreciate this maybe kind of in the same way that I do. And then bringing your sponsors back in, I got a lot of Audio-Technica gear, and I got a lot of stuff to basically set up my own home studio. And it's just like this big blessing that saved a lot of money for things that I was eventually saving up to want to get.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, then I would say on behalf of everyone at HelloooTV that the tears that you shed in the rental car parking lot of MIA in South Florida were well worth it, well justified.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on Hello Hangs, AJ. We're really happy to have you. We're excited for your show tonight. Plug your stuff. Where can people find your music? What's the social media platform that you have the most proclivity towards?
Instagram's where it's at, like everyone else. But like if you just search AJGATIO, it'll come up. We got the little verified thing. It's it's hard to miss. It's hard to miss now. It's good because no one has this last name. It's a very distinct name. There's not like 5 Brittany Murphys, and you're like, which one's which? So yeah, just Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's all there.
All right. Well, the show again is tonight at 9/8 Central on Facebook, YouTube. Go to HelloooTV. That's HelloooTV.com for all the information. And thanks again to our sponsors, Audio-Technica, AEH Accounting, and of course, NooWave, who are presenting Flow-State-Coffee to us. On behalf of AJ and myself, we want to say thank you very much, and we'll see you tonight at the concert on HelloooTV for AJ Gatio. Peace.
Yeah. See you guys.